has during her broken her round the silence at the world age of flight in 1937. Now, she later, her world. But is this the Lockheed Electra she was flying? Controversial struggles, questions of her personal theories remain life unanswered. Have we discovered the truth behind Amelia Earhart's final flight, or is it still just another piece of the puzzle? Find out now. Amelia Earhart's final journey. Amelia Earhart, one of the most famous and pioneering pilots in aviation, began her journey around the world on June 1, 1937, departing from Miami, Florida. Her goal was not just to fly, but also to demonstrate the capabilities of women in a challenging and dangerous profession, which was still largely dominated by men. The flight was designed to follow the equator, with a route through different countries and regions, to demonstrate the advancement of aviation technology. However, Amelia Earhart's journey never ended as planned. One of the most important and fateful legs of this trip was the flight from Lee, New Guinea, to Howland Island, a small, uninhabited island in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. This was an important destination on Earhart's journey, where she and co-pilot Fred Noonan planned to approach and perform some technical work before continuing their flight. Howland Island, although only a small spot on the map, was extremely important to Earhart. The reason was that it was one of the locations that could provide fuel and communications support, while the island was far from any inhabited areas. While Earhart and Noonan were flying to Howland Island, the Itasca was sent to the area to assist by relaying radio signals, helping the crew determine their location and ensuring that they would not get lost during the flight. However, on the morning of July 2, 1937, with only about 100 miles (160 km) to go to Howland Island, the situation became tense. Earhart radioed the Itasca and reported that they were unable to locate Howland Island. She reported that they were having difficulty finding the signal and that the fuel in the Lockheed Electra, the plane Earhart was piloting, was rapidly running low. In her final radio communication, Earhart said, "We can't see you, but we're still trying." Her voice was filled with anxiety as she knew her fuel supply was running low and her chances of completing the flight were becoming increasingly slim. After this message, Earhart did not contact the Itasca again, and her Lockheed Electra disappeared from radar and was never found. Years later, searches and investigations have failed to determine the exact cause of Amelia Earhart's disappearance. Some theorize that her plane crashed into the ocean after running out of fuel, while others believe she may have landed somewhere else, such as Nicumaroro Island, a small island about 400 miles from Howland, where researchers have found some traces believed to be those of Earhart and Noonan. After the mysterious disappearance of Amelia Earhart in 1937, many attempts have been made to find the answer to the question, where did her plane go? Although there have been many theories and discoveries over the past 80 years, in 2024, a discovery has raised hope for this story. Could this be Amelia Earhart's Lockheed Electra? Deep Sea Vision recently released a remarkable sonar image of an object at a depth of 4,877 meters, 16,500 feet, on the bottom of the Pacific Ocean near Howland Island, where Earhart lost contact in the final hours of her flight. But is this object Earhart's plane, or is it just a coincidence? Sonar discovery in 2020 for New Hope. In 2024, a remarkable discovery of Amelia Earhart's missing plane has raised new hopes for solving one of the greatest mysteries in aviation. Deep Sea Vision, a company specializing in ocean exploration, released a sonar image of an object on the bottom of the Pacific Ocean that the team believes could be the Lockheed Electra, the plane Earhart was flying at the time of her disappearance. The sonar image was taken at a depth of about 4,877 meters, 16,000 feet, near Howland Island, where Earhart and co-pilot Fred Noonan lost contact in the final hours of the flight. Howland Island, though small and remote, holds special significance for Earhart's flight, as it was one of the key stops where she planned to land to refuel and contact the Usk Itasca. This is the first significant discovery in many years, and if confirmed, it could provide an answer to the 87-year-old question, where is Amelia Earhart's plane? To search at such great depths, the team used a state-of-the-art unmanned underwater vehicle, the Hugin 6000, an advanced unmanned underwater vehicle, ROV, equipped with sonar technology to scan the ocean floor. This machine is not only capable of taking clear images, but it can also scan a very large area in a short time. According to the team, they scanned more than 5,200 square miles, 13,500 square kilometers, of the ocean floor near Howland Island, where Earhart is believed to have gone missing. After scanning and analyzing sonar data, they discovered an object shaped like a small plane, which the team believes could be the Lockheed Electra that Earhart and co-pilot Noonan were flying. Tony Romeo, head of Deep Sea Vision, was one of the first to speak about the discovery. He said his team is very confident that the object on the ocean floor could be the plane Earhart was flying when she disappeared. Using the Hugin 6000, the ability to reach deep areas and collect high-quality data has opened up a new opportunity to solve the mystery of Amelia Earhart's fate. Romeo also stressed that while the object in the sonar image resembles an aeroplane, this is only the first step in the verification process. Further testing and analysis will be needed to confirm for sure whether the object is Earhart's Electra. However, experts and researchers still need to be cautious and continue to conduct additional experiments to confirm the discovery. The sonar image is only an initial suggestion, and scientists will need more evidence to conclude whether the plane is indeed Earhart's or just another object on the ocean floor. The discovery has revived the hopes of researchers and fans of the Amelia Earhart story. It could provide a breakthrough in solving one of the biggest questions in aviation and modern history. But is this Earhart's plane, or is it just a coincidence? The answer remains a mystery, and further explorations may hold the key to unlocking this mystery. Expert reaction. After the announcement of the latest discovery of an object on the ocean floor, the reaction from experts has been mixed and cautious. Although this is a discovery that has attracted a lot of attention, experts agree that clearer and detailed evidence is needed before any conclusions can be drawn. Dorothy Cochrane, curator of the Department of Aeronautics at the Smithsonian National Air and Space Museum, is one of the biggest skeptics of the authenticity of the sonar images. She said that while the images released are intriguing, they are not convincing enough to confirm that it is Amelia Earhart's plane. We need clearer and more detailed images of this object, Cochrane said. The current sonar images are just fuzzy data, and we cannot definitively identify what the object is. She also stressed that while the team had scanned a large area of the seafloor, a single image alone could not be the only evidence to confirm whether the object was Earhart's Lockheed Electra. Richard Gillespie, founder of TIGHAR, the International Group for Historic Aircraft Recovery, has also criticized the discovery. Gillespie, who has led several expeditions to find Earhart's plane over the years, asserted that the sonar image did not match the typical design of the Lockheed Electra. He suggested that the object on the seafloor could simply be a rock shaped like an aeroplane, rather than an actual plane. Gillespie was one of the pioneers of the theory that Earhart's plane may have crashed near Nicumaroro Island, and he said the discovery was not convincing enough to change the previous theory. While the discovery brings new hope and anticipation to those curious about Amelia Earhart's fate, the consensus among experts is that caution and further research are needed. The current sonar images are just the first step in the search process. Experts say that if this is indeed Earhart's plane, there will need to be a lot more supporting evidence to confirm it, such as clearer images from more advanced sonar equipment or the discovery of debris related to the Lockheed Electra. The big question remains: has Amelia Earhart's legendary plane been found at the bottom of the Pacific Ocean, or is it just a coincidence? The answer may be revealed in future expeditions. But the story of her fate is not limited to underwater discoveries. Another intriguing theory has long been the Nikumororo hypothesis, where Earhart may have survived the plane crash. The discovery of a skeleton on the island in 1940 sparked controversy and skepticism about whether the bones belonged to her. But can modern technology help us solve this mystery? Nikumororo hypothesis, anthropological evidence. One of the oldest and most controversial theories about the fate of Amelia Earhart is the Nikumororo hypothesis. According to it, after her plane crashed during a round-the-world trip in 1937, Earhart made an emergency landing on a small, uninhabited island in the Phoenix Islands called Nikumororo, about 400 miles south of Howland Island. Although searches over the years have failed to find clear evidence to support this theory, a major discovery from 1940 opened a new direction. In 1940, during a survey of Nikumororo Island, an expedition team discovered a set of bones that were initially identified as those of a man. These bones included parts of the forearm, hand, and other small bones. However, the discovery did not immediately attract attention, as they were not thought to be related to Amelia Earhart. A British doctor named D.W. Hoodless worked to analyze the bones and concluded that they likely belonged to a man, which caused the Earhart hypothesis to be gradually put aside. However, over the years, a group of researchers and experts began to notice the inconsistencies in Hoodless' analysis and requested that the bones be reanalyzed. This led to a major turning point in the investigation into Earhart's fate. In 2018, Richard Jantz, an emeritus professor of anthropology at the University of Tennessee, re-examined the skeleton. Using modern analytical techniques and specialized software, such as Fordisk, a computer program that analyzes the shape of human bones, Jantz compared the bones found on Nikumororo Island with reference samples from modern female skeletons. His analysis was shocking, showing a high degree of similarity between the bones on the island and the skeletal features of Amelia Earhart. According to Jantz, these bones are highly likely to be Earhart's, with a similarity of more than 99% to the reference sample of a woman of similar age and size. Richard Jantz's conclusion has profound implications for supporting the Nikumororo hypothesis. If this analysis is correct, it would prove that Amelia Earhart survived her plane crash and forced landing on Nikumororo. After landing, Earhart would have struggled with the harsh conditions on the island, possibly due to a lack of water and food, before she died. Theories that she may have survived for a short time after this forced landing could explain why there is no clear trace of her damaged plane, as it may have sunk or been destroyed shortly after landing. However, this is still a theory, and although modern anthropological analysis has provided stronger evidence, we still need more research and additional discoveries to conclude. This also opens up the question of whether Amelia Earhart could have crashed on Nikumororo, and whether these mysteries can be solved by future expeditions. Conclusion and future directions. There are several reasons why, after decades of research and exploration, the mystery of Amelia Earhart's disappearance remains unsolved. First, the harsh conditions of the search area are one of the main reasons. The waters near Howland Island, where Earhart went missing, are extremely deep and have unpredictable weather conditions, making access and search extremely difficult. Although modern technology can provide images from sonar and drones, accurately identifying objects on the seabed still requires careful verification. Furthermore, large waves and adverse weather conditions also hinder the discovery of important evidence. In addition, the biggest problem is the lack of clarity about the exact location of the plane. Although Earhart tried to contact the radio at the last minute, the signal was weak and distorted, making it impossible to determine the exact location. This makes the search a very difficult task, like looking for a needle in a haystack. Even with advanced technology, research teams still have great difficulty collecting enough data to confirm where the plane crashed. Another important factor is the conflicting theories about Earhart's disappearance. While some theories suggest that she may have survived an emergency landing and died on Nikumaroro Island, others believe that her plane crashed into the ocean and was lost forever. This lack of consensus among the theories makes it more difficult to determine the exact cause of her disappearance. In addition, before the rapid development of underwater search technology, search efforts relied mainly on traditional means such as boats and planes. These searches are often limited by time, cost, and resources, and discovering Earhart's plane is an extremely difficult task. Although there have been some interesting discoveries, such as the skeleton found on Nikumaroro Island and objects on the seabed that resemble planes, the evidence is not yet enough to confirm that they belong to Earhart. Experts still debate the authenticity of these finds, leaving the mystery unsolved. Despite numerous expeditions and studies, the mystery of Amelia Earhart's disappearance remains a major unanswered question. 87 years after Earhart and co-pilot Fred Noonan disappeared during their round-the-world flight, discoveries continue to emerge, but there is no definitive evidence to confirm their ultimate fate. The recent discovery by deep-sea vision of a suspicious object on the seabed near Howland Island has generated a great deal of attention. But as mentioned, experts still need more research to definitively determine whether it is Earhart's Lockheed Electra. To reach an accurate conclusion, continued exploration and analysis are of utmost importance. Modern technology, such as Sonar and the Hugin 6000 drone, has allowed teams to scan deeper into the ocean floor. Still, findings like these need to be carefully tested and compared to existing theories. In addition, exploring and studying other sites such as Nikumaroro Island, where the skeleton was discovered in 1940, could still provide important clues. Further expeditions will be key to getting a better understanding of Amelia Earhart's fate and continuing to explore other possibilities for where she may have landed and ultimately died. So, do you think Amelia Earhart really survived the emergency landing, or was her plane lost forever at the bottom of the ocean? Which do you think is the most plausible theory?